My name is Alex the Polymath. I made a presentation on Omega-6. It's called Omega-6, the discovery and the importance. This presentation was made by me. What is Omega-6? Omega-6 is the polyunsaturated fat. Another polyunsaturated fat you may have heard of is Omega-3. And a polyunsaturated fat you may not have heard of is Omega-9. But what is a polyunsaturated fat anyway? A polyunsaturated fat is basically a type of fat that's not a saturated fat, and it's an unsaturated fat. Another unsaturated fat would be monounsaturated fat. Polyunsaturated fats can lower some types of cholesterol. They also include omega-6 and omega-3. Omega-6 will be the main topic of this lecture. Polyunsaturated fat is found in salmon, some types of oils, and nuts, and also seeds. What is the chemical structure of a polyunsaturated fat, or more exact, an omega-6? This is the molecular structure of linolenic acid. It has 18 carbons, 32 hydrogens, and 2 oxygens. The red is carbon, the blue is hydrogen, and the yellow is oxygen in the diagram. Who discovered omega-6? George Burr discovered it with the help of his wife, Mildred. They also helped disprove the theory that fats were just another source of calories, no different than carbohydrates. What are some types of omega-6? So some types of omega-6 include gamma-linolenic acid. This is abbreviated GLA. It is found in some oils, like corn oil and vegetable oil. When it's eaten, it's often made into D-homo-gamma-linolenic acid in the body. And then there's also conjugated linolenic acid, or CLA. There are 28 different types of this acid. Are omega-6s important? Yes, they are, because they're necessary for humans. But the average American eats too many of them. It would be easy to eat too many of them because they're found in so many foods. These foods include eggs, nuts, cereals, oils including soybean oil, corn oil, safflower oil, a few different types of vegetable oils, and canola oil. Here is the ratio between omega-6 versus versus 100 grams. Soybean oil has 50 grams for 100 grams. Corn oil has 49 grams. Mayonnaise is 39, and walnuts is 37. Sunflowers have 34, and almonds have 12, and cashews have 8. Well, these have quite a few. They don't have as many as the oils. How does omega-6 compare to omega-3? Omega-6 and omega-3 are both necessary. As I mentioned earlier, omega-6 is necessary for the human's bodies. And I mentioned earlier that omega-6 there's too many omega-6s that an American eats. And this is actually a significant cause of inflammation likely. But omega-3s, on the other hand, there aren't enough of them, on the other hand. So they're basically opposites. So here's an omega-3 versus omega-6 diagram. Omega-3 is in flaxseed, black currant, and soybean oil, as well as salmon and tuna. Omega-6 is in processed food, margarine, corn oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil. It's also in breast milk and herbs, meat, and eggs. So here are some more pictures. The picture on the right is a bunch of foods with omega-6. The picture on the left shows where we get our omega-6 from. 70% is a combination of vegetable oils and margarine. And 13% is chicken. 6% is nuts, and 1% is eggs. The other 10% is miscellaneous. Here's a chemical structure of a random polyunsaturated fat. This is basically a carbon with 2 oxygens and a hydrogen bonded to a carbon which is bonded to hydrogens, and the rest of the carbons are bonded to either one hydrogen and a double bond with a carbon, or a carbon and 2 hydrogens. And then, thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Here are the sources I used. The top sources are the websites I used, and the bottom sources are the pictures I used from.